Welcome to Westville Athletics, home of Do More CrossFit. This is our Do More CrossFit YouTube channel. And today we're going to get started out with some coaches interviews, and we're going to start with learning a little bit about Janyce, one of our favorite coaches. So Janyce, tell us a little bit about yourself. Let's start with kind of your athletic history and how you started out, I think, in figure skating.
Yeah, so I was a figure skater for a long time. I'd say I grew up in Tennessee, which is a little unusual, I would say, for figure skating. You don't think of it as being like a mecca of figure skating, but we had a really big group there and it was really competitive. I competed at three or four nationals and an international event in figure skating as a pair skater. So I got thrown and lifted and all that fun stuff. And actually fell into CrossFit because someone opened up a CrossFit gym in the ice rink. So in 2008, I'd never heard of CrossFit before. All of a sudden this new gym opened up in the rink and they wanted us to try it out, and it kind of went from there. The same year I got hurt. So I tore my labrum at the beginning of the year, and then I broke my leg and tore the ligaments in my ankle at the end of the year. And so that was a pretty bad year for skating, and that was the end of my competitive career. But at that point I'd been like a kind of maybe 9 months into CrossFit, and it was a great avenue to still be competitive and learn new skills and do things I'd never touched a barbell before. Learning how to do pull-ups and all these new things was really cool and fun, and still be competitive because, well, we work out for a time and there's like some sort of goal with every class. It's a great transition to still being able to stay active, learn new things, work on technique and form, which I love doing that with figure skating, and then also be competitive. And so that was in 2008. And then I pretty much a year later started competing in CrossFit too. So it was just a very natural transition. In 2017, somebody at the gym was like, why don't you try weightlifting? And I was like, well, I don't know. Like, to me in skating, you have to start when you're really young. Like, it was kind of a strange thing for me to jump in when I was 11, I think, and then make it to nationals within a couple years. That's pretty unheard of. To me, weightlifting as an Olympic sport, it's like, oh, you have to do it from a child. Like, you have to do it your whole life to be able to do anything with it. But then she was like, why don't you just like go home, look at the numbers you need to hit to go to anything, qualify for nationals. And so I did, and I was like, oh, I can do that. And so I tried to meet, it was okay. And then another coach was like, well, what if you like just go to nationals? Like, just do it. I mean, okay, I qualified for nationals in that one meet. And then they're like, just do it, see if you like it, because it's a way different vibe than just a local meet. I did that, loved it. And then I started looking for a coach. That was a process. And so then also at the same time I was competing in CrossFit and trying to make it to regionals and CrossFit games as a team. So I spent 2018 trying to train both CrossFit and weightlifting. That was really hard and like really difficult. I then did find a weightlifting coach and then had to make a decision because regionals was actually the same weekend as nationals. And at that point I knew I was going to pick weightlifting because I was just, I'll do better against women my size. And I really liked it at that point. And so that from then on, 2018, I was just weightlifting.
What are your weightlifting PRs?
Oh, my weightlifting PRs. My best snatch is 85 kilos. And my best clean and jerk is 108 kilos.
If successful, she will be the 2021 national champion at 55 kilos. Easy clean.
All right, hold it. Nice job.
And what is that in American?
Well, I don't know. I think it's like 185, 187, 187 pound snatch maybe, and a 238 clean and jerk.
At what body weight?
I sit at 130 pounds usually, and I cut down to 121 for competitions that I'm trying to compete in and like do
like
better at.
9 pound weight loss.
9 pound weight cut for my big meets. Yeah.
And Janyce always lets us know when she's cutting weight so we can know if she's not happy.
Yeah, I get hangry. Sorry.
So gave up on our CrossFit competitive career. Is there any way you'd go back to training in CrossFit?
Maybe. I mean, so I always would joke and say the burpees are always going to be there, and they are. Really, the transition also happened when they started bringing in the assault bike, the ski ergs. They started bringing in more, things that I can barely reach the pedals, and I just can't. Oh, the True Form runner. I did a competition with that and just got smoked, and it was too hard.
All right,
to compete.
Okay,
but I don't know. I'm
maybe
getting older.
you never know.
I'm getting older. We'll see.
What do you like to do outside of the gym?
Outside of the gym, I walk my dog often. I like to try new restaurants. Is probably my favorite thing. Like if we're talking about a hobby and actively doing something and where I spend money, it's eating at restaurants. And then it's often a topic of conversation here too. There's a few people that ask me what'd you eat this weekend, or what new restaurants have you been to? And that's always my favorite topic.
Tell us a little bit about your favorite food, or what food you couldn't really live without.
I mean, I can't live without desserts, for sure. I'll do my weight cuts and I'll still find ways. The mini chocolate chip or whatever, chocolate ice cream cones from Trader Joe's. I'll find a way to eat those every day. I love cookies. I love ice cream, and I love brownies, and I like them all together. But that's not a real food, and I get that. Levain changed my life. And okay, but no, if I had to pick one, there's two options. Fried chicken is up there because it also encompasses Korean fried chicken, chicken nuggets, chicken tenders.
It's true. It's true.
There's so many things you can do with that. But if I had to pick one genre, it's cheese and bread, because that also includes pizza and nachos and cheese and crackers and quesadillas and tacos, everything else.
So if you didn't know, if you would like Janyce to like you, you can bring food to the gym at any time. If you don't go to this gym, you can always mail it here or Postmate something if you would like to find the way to Janyce's heart. These are all great ideas. Yeah, we're hoping to explore a series called Janyce Eats. So I can't wait for that. What's your least favorite CrossFit movement?
There's a few, but I think my least favorite is farmer's carries.
Oh, that's my favorite. One of my favorites, but I understand.
I think we're total opposites. I hate farmer's carries.
And I'm twice as big as you. What's your favorite CrossFit movement?
My favorite CrossFit movement, probably air squats. I like air squats.
Nobody likes air squats.
I like air squats. I'm good at them.
Nobody likes air squats. What is a way to be Janyce's favorite member?
The way to be my favorite member? Or to...
I can guess.
Reserve
class.
Follow the rules. I don't know. Show up with a good attitude and be willing to listen and learn, to take constructive feedback in whatever form I give it.
Okay, you can tell us. Who's your favorite member?
My favorite member? Henry.
Oh, Henry doesn't take very good constructive criticism.
Okay, true.
Someone's on the edge of their seat right now.
Mina tries hard.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, Mina's good. She's been a member.
Tries hard. That's not why I like her.
But she's been a member since she was 14, so that's good.
Yeah,
that's nice.
She's not problematic.
That's true. That's also true. When do you coach?
Oh, I coach all over the place. So I do Monday nights, Thursday nights, Friday nights, and then Tuesday midday, Wednesday morning, and Saturday the second half of the morning.
We get to see you a lot here.
You get to see me a lot. Hopefully that's okay. I love it though, and I think my favorite thing is seeing everybody. I like to see the different groups, because definitely there's a morning group, midday group, and a pretty strong evening group, and I love that I get to see everybody. But just being able to do what I can and come in and help people reach whatever goal it is, whether it's to be better at CrossFit or be better at lifting, or maybe they just need to come here and just release energy or take their mind off of whatever's going on in their life. Be able to help facilitate that.
What do you think the biggest difference is between the morning people and the night people?
Honestly, I think it's class by class, which is interesting. Like there's a few classes that are just ready with their barbells out, even if we didn't tell them to. And then a few that really just like they leave right away. And then other ones that like to linger a little bit more or like just trickle in as well, slower. And it's interesting, as well as taste in music. It's like
yes.
very
yes. The number one
like,
complained about thing at any gym is what the music is.
And you just can't please everybody.
No.
You just do what you can.
But y'all need to relax.
Because it is just a workout.
It is
we'll
just a workout.
Take requests, but it's a room sometimes of 20 people. What are you going to do?
It's true. What do you think the hardest CrossFit movement was for you to learn?
We used to do a trick called the sail or a sailboat, and I would do a handstand on my partner's skate and he would hold my feet. So it's not like it wasn't comfortable being upside down, but handstand walking, I actually had to put in a lot of work for. So that was hard. I didn't make contact on my snatch for 8 years. So I spent 8 years trying to figure out, and like with different coaches, trying to figure out why I couldn't lift the way that they wanted me to. Like people were like, oh, your grip's too close in, your grip's too wide, your legs are too big, they're just in the way. Like different things where like it was really strange, or like just wrong cues sometimes at the beginning, like from like kind of starting in 2008 and where CrossFit was at that time and where coaches were and like where I was in Santa Barbara for the majority of that time. The coaching wasn't quite as developed, but then I did like go visit and get to work with different coaches and they couldn't really figure it out either. So yeah, 8 years of not making contact. And then it wasn't until I worked with Max Ada, like the weightlifting coach, that he was able to get it all fine-tuned. So I guess that like snatch, which is very common for most people as a very difficult technical movement, that was hard to learn. I was lucky in that my figure skating background was able to get me things that are difficult for a lot of people, like pistols. I used to do it on the ice all the time. I used to spin in a pistol position. We used to jump rope for conditioning, so double unders was part of my regular training anyways. But I think just form and just even being comfortable with the barbell was really tough. And I couldn't do a pull-up when I started. Like maybe like a pull-up, but not, like I remember having to use bands and learning kipping was totally foreign to me. And while I was like relatively good at moving my body, like that was definitely hard.
What do you think the everyday CrossFitter or member could do to improve their weightlifting the most?
I think the biggest thing that they could do is put intention and awareness into the warm-up. We don't just go through the warm-up to move the body and to actually physically warm up. That is one reason, but the other reason is to prime the lifts. I think all the coaches take the athletes through an actual barbell warm-up, breaking down the different parts of the lifts, that even if they don't go to Olympic weightlifting class where that's dedicated time to work on the lifts, that is a moment to try to get a little bit better and prime the lifts the way that we want them to move, or that I know that they want them to move as well. But there's a difference between just doing the movement and doing it kind of sloppily versus actually putting intention in the movement to transfer into the actual lift that they're going to do, which maybe they're maxing out for the day. And like it definitely would be beneficial to put intention into the warm-up.
Yeah, I think a lot of people could spend time coming in early, getting their warm-up in so that they're ready to go when the coach is starting the warm-up, because, and this goes for any gym, they're putting their shoes on, they're doing all these other things when we're warming up, and you only have a finite time to warm up for the lifts. And I think people often say to me like, oh, on lift 9, I finally felt warmed up. Right. I think a lot of people in general don't spend enough time mobilizing like before the actual warm-up starts, so that they're not doing those things while the barbell's already out or whatever it is. So I think that's good advice. Thanks, Janyce, for coming and talking. This is our Do More CrossFit YouTube channel here at West LA Athletics. Thanks for watching. And if you would like to subscribe and like our channel, that'd be very appreciated. And we'll see you in our next episode.